time, which is so exciting to manage a
Yeah.
lot of different pieces of tech and also a conversation.
Well, and the fact that the tech platforms are constantly changing.
Constantly
Let's not
changing,
forget that.
constantly changing, but there we go. They're finally caught up. Yes.
Yay!
Yay. All right. Well, it's a round of applause to start tonight's episode. So, tonight I'm powered by authenticity. I'm actually honored to have this guest as our guest tonight. I love the WIT Network. I love everything that you've built. And it's just my honor to welcome Christine Bongard to the podcast. Christine, how are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for that lovely and warm introduction. It's my pleasure to be here and share all the goodness that is the WIT Network. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, I am honored. So I joined the WIT Buffalo Chapter during COVID. They were hosting a Galentine's event. They
Yeah.
came to our house. They dropped off chocolate, and we did this whole thing. And it was like, this is like my people. Like this is amazing group of women. And since then, getting to know more about the global organization that you've built is just absolutely phenomenal to me. So I can't wait for you to share the story of how you've built the WIT Network.
Yeah, well, I love everything that you just said because that, that melts my heart, warms my heart. Because that's the intent behind the WIT Network. We formed 8 years ago as a place where women could find community, could build their network, to help career, to help build skills, to find a mentor, find coaches. Really, it's about amplifying women's success. And there are a lot of different orgs that do that, but we wanted to have a differentiator that would be a warm and friendly place where people really felt seen and heard. And we used to say in the beginning, we joked around, like, we're really this whole group of friends that you just haven't met yet, And so hearing you say that, that was the vibe that you got from your very first event with us, that means that we're doing something right.
Absolutely amazing. And we're going to talk about what that community looks like. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, where you're from, all of the good things, because I love getting to know our guests.
Yeah, sure. So Christine Bongard, I am a native New Jerseyan, and right now, currently, I live at the beach. I live near the ocean, which has been a lifelong dream. And during COVID, we all had an opportunity to make some changes. And so mine was I was living more in northern New Jersey. And so I relocated down here, and the ocean is a mile from my house. And so that brings me a lot of joy. And so I like to share that with folks. I've been in the tech industry my whole career. I came out of college, and I had a job at an insurance company, and my boss there said, "Hey, I'm going to go start a tech company. Do you want to come with me?" This was in the early 90s. So this was a long time ago. I'm dating myself, but that's okay. I'm proud of it. And he basically said I think the PC and technology is going to be where it's at. Let's go do it. And so I did. And so at the age of 23, I helped to start a business. I had to learn how to build a computer, we went to networking, and then the cloud, the whole evolution of tech over the last 30 years. I was a part of that through this entrepreneurial experience. And not only did I get to come to embrace and love technology, but I also learned to be an entrepreneur and what it was like to be an entrepreneur. Learn all aspects of the business. When you're an entrepreneur, it's all self-taught. You make mistakes, you get some things right, you get some things wrong, and then you learn how to do it differently the next time. And, so I had a lot of years of that in sales, in marketing, in leadership, in managing partners and managing customers, office administration, finance, HR, all of that good stuff. And so really, I found myself after all of that time, we wound up selling the business, which was a great opportunity. And then I said, well, what am I going to do now? And, through that time at that company, I had built up an incredible network. That's always one of my number one tips for folks that I mentor or coach is your network is your net worth. And so you have to really, really be active with it at all times. And I have built up this great network and had a lot of incredible women around me. And they were, we would always chat, and it just came to like, we need a place, we need to build a place where women can get together, can connect with each other. And so through that, we started this grassroots motion through an organization that's called the IAMCP. They're the International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners. There we go. I got that right. And so we kind of founded through their umbrella, and then eventually just started growing and growing and growing. And we knew it needed, its own name and its own organization. So in 2018, we founded a nonprofit, the WIT Network. That's what it became. And very first year, it was really all about the communities. We had built out maybe 20 or so communities around the world. And then year 2, we started to build in all the learning and development, webinars and workshops and leadership cohorts and mentoring circles and all of that. So 8 years later, we're celebrating our 8th year anniversary in September. We have 15,000, actually it's a little bit over that now, 15,000 members in the WIT Network. We serve women in 89 countries around the world. And we have 65 local communities that still uphold, like the Buffalo community. They uphold our name locally. They hold, local events, speed networking. They'll have speakers, all different fun things, charities. They'll do crafts, whatever the group wants to do. But they're holding up our flags, all around the world, which, makes me so proud when we have a new community come on board and be excited about supporting the women locally. So I like to say, we have a 2-pronged approach to our membership. We have all of our online virtual programming, which is our education, and then the in-person through the communities. I'm realizing now I kind of blend, who I am into the story of the WIT Network, but I think that's really what it's all about, right? I'm the main co-founder of the group, and it really has become my identity over the last 8 years because it's something I really care about, and I enjoy it. So it kind of is part of me.
No, it's funny that you say that because as I've built up the podcast and my IT consulting firm, I feel the same way. It's like if you ask me about myself, you're probably going to hear about the podcast too. I've got great kids, but this is like my favorite. So
that's so funny.
Yeah, no, and it is such a unique community. See, the one thing that I love about it is that there's no pressure. I know that service organizations are built upon volunteers, but I have to say, when you like the people that you're part of this organization with, everybody understands that life is busy and we just offset each other. One event, one person can go do another event. And to your point, not everything's in person, and you've got opportunities to volunteer and to be part of the community virtually. So I think that's another just differentiator of what you built and why you should be so proud, is because there's not this whole, you have to have 100 service hours a week or you get kicked out of the club.
No. And in fact, there are many members that come in and out. There'll be some people who are real active, and then their family will take precedent, or they'll have a big work project and they can. And then a year later, they'll come back and they'll say, "Hey, I'm back. I had to take a little break, but I'm glad you're still here for me, and I'm still welcoming for me to come back and jump right back in, like as if I never left." And I actually have women that reach out a lot to say, "Hey, can I get back in and help out?" Which is great. I kind of, when they say that, it makes me feel really good that we have that longevity now and that consistency to be a place that we're solid, that folks know it's okay if they step out. We're going to be right here ready to grab you back in, when you're ready. So yeah, we have that kind of personality, I think.
100%. You should be completely just proud of that type of culture that you've built within the organization, because, profit, nonprofit, if you don't have a great culture and you don't have people helping you, then nothing's going to be successful. So I just think it speaks volumes to how you've come in to build the culture for the WIT network as well. So I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. And that feedback really is important to me because that is what is a differentiator.
Mhm.
Like a lot of times people ask me like, oh, well, if I want to join the network, what's different from you than this one or that one?
Yep.
And it's hard to describe. Well, it's a feeling. It's the culture that I think when you come in, you really enjoy being a part of it and you want to stay. It's a place that you feel really safe and, inspired and empowered, and that makes you want to stay. And it's kind of hard to sell that. So, but anyway, thank you for saying that. That means a lot to me. I think we've done a really good job at curating. And by the way, we painstakingly put time and effort into curating our speakers and our facilitators and really anybody who has influence over a person's experience in the network because they're representing our brand, number one, and we feel it's really, really important to keep consistency of this tone of who we are, which is welcoming.
Yep.
And I'm so proud that all of my employees and my community leaders and our whole speaking and facilitator bank of people, our customers, actually, all of our liaisons at our customers, all of our partner companies, our sponsors, it's like attracts like. And so it's kind of like this big extended family. Everybody is really radiating on the same, level of kindness and how can I lift you up? Like, I can't tell you how many calls I get on and everyone is saying to one another, what can I do to help you? How can I help you on the next step of your journey? And it's just that kind of stuff is what's different about us and what I feel really makes a difference.
Yeah. And I can speak from personal experience with that. When I lost my job 3 years ago, one of the first things I did was email the whole, not everybody, but the board on the Buffalo chapter and said, I lost my job. Does anybody know of anything? And before you know it, people are, I know this person and I know this person. And then last year when my husband was facing a similar situation, does anybody know of anybody who needs a network engineer? And it's like, it's a different type of networking and support. And to your point, build the network during the time that you don't necessarily need to lean on them.
Mm-hmm.
You have them, you've got the support system around you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, Emily. And that's one of the hardest things I think for maybe younger people to understand. You don't really know what you need until you need it. And then it's too late to build a network. So you really have to do it early on and nurture it and keep it alive. I can't tell you how many times throughout my career there were different situations, just like the one you just explained, or even starting the WIT network. Think about that. Like getting this off the ground, I needed an army of people that were going to help lift it up. And so having a network that you could reach out to say, can you get behind? Can you share out a post about this? Can you join and become a member? Can your company maybe be a corporate member? You're asking all of this from people in your network. And that's how we got started, really. Yeah. So I think that's really such a great piece of advice.
Yeah, I keep trying to tell that to my daughter, who will be 21 on Friday. It's like you're in college. You need to start networking and having these relationships now. Producer Ken over there, he's got the same. He's got a great friend group from high school, even that still talk to, that you can leverage and have a conversation with. And I think that's just. We need to teach that in college to our kids.
I've actually had a lot of people my age say that their daughters or even sons are, well, why do I have to network? Like, there's a company happy hour after work. I'm not going to go to that. Why do I need to go to that? They're not paying me to go to that. And it's like, but I get it. It's a different time now than when than when I was growing up, and the importance of networking and, putting yourself out there, it was really driven home for me. So.
And I wouldn't even talk about what COVID did. Because it was just such a time. But
yeah.
Well, I have to say, you should be so proud of the WIT Network. It's just amazing and what you've built. And why don't we talk? So one other thing that I think is interesting is it's the IAMCP, right? So it's like I can never remember that acronym.
It's International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners.
But how cool is it that you have that whole channel partnership relationship to tap into? Because that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so how does that develop? Is that just reaching out to like Microsoft? How did you make that happen?
That's a good question. Well, I was a part of that community first. So I was a member of the IAMCP. And then through my work at my company, I had the really incredibly fortunate opportunity to be asked to participate on a Microsoft Partner Advisory Council. And so I got to go to Redmond three times a year to meet with different executives there, as well as partners from around the world. And I definitely met a lot of the leaders of that organization through that experience as well. And so, I got really super involved. I was on their board. I went to their local communities. Yeah. So that's why it kind of made sense to, we were part of building out. Microsoft had a worldwide partner conference every year, and they had a Women in Tech luncheon. And so myself and some others in my network, we were part of that planning team. So we built this lunch every year. And then women would come up to us and say, this was such an incredible event, but why do we only have one event a year to network with each other and to come and be inspired? So that's when we started to say, hey, should this become its own organization?
Yeah, very cool. Microsoft Inspire. It was Inspire, right? That was the partner.
Yes, it was. Yeah, Worldwide Partner, WPC first, and then we renamed it to Inspire.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to know. I've actually I had a podcast that I hosted through my last corporate job, and I had Gabriella on us. She's lovely.
She's the best. She was our founding sponsor. But before that, a real friend, and still to this day, she's my mentor and one of my mentors, and a very good friend to myself and the WIT Network. I'm so grateful to her.
Yeah. Awesome. That's so cool. And I think one of the other things that's neat that I've seen develop over the past few years is the different tiers of membership. So like even a lower cost option for college students to help get them more involved. Yeah. Great.
I'd love to, if we continue to grow, my future, my future plans are to build a WIT network at the university level. And that's another whole company really, because it's different content and it has a different structure. But I would love to see, wouldn't that be amazing if we had, WIT network communities at the campuses? And, it could have a board where the women, get nominated, voted into board seats, and then they run their little community. We can get corporate sponsorships for those communities, and then companies could be able to provide speakers to those communities, as well as first access to graduates or interns, access to a talent pool, and then also connecting those campus communities to our local communities. So here I'm in New Jersey, we'll just use that as an example, having Rutgers University have a WIT network community at Rutgers. We have IBM sponsor the New Jersey Rutgers community. We have a New Jersey community of the WIT network that also connects to that community for mentors. They can do group projects together and so on and so forth. So I see this as a really great circle of influence with students, women in the WIT network, and then corporate, technology companies that, are helping to kind of make it all go around. So that is a longer term goal. I would love to be able to do that. But yes, students are welcome. We have a community, level membership for folks who just want to come to the events. And then we have our core membership, which is access to all of our programming.
Yeah. And I think one other thing to keep in mind when we talk about the communities, it's so fun because there's different pillars. So like, the community events, and then you've got like the speakers that come in. I know locally in Buffalo, we do some like philanthropic work and help raise money for some local or nonprofits as well. So like, the communities are getting into the communities and inviting, even if you're not members, come and join us and understand what we're a part of.
Yeah. And even I know like Buffalo works with some of the, I think there's like Tech Buffalo, New York, which is more with students. And, so yeah, some of the communities definitely do outreach already into some of the school systems, which is wonderful. Or they'll do charitable events, to help people in need in their community. Again, it's all wonderful. Every community is granted the independence to decide what they want to do. The WIT Network corporate does not really control that. We only ask that they have a minimum of 4 events a year, and that they post the event registration on our website, because we want to be able to promote it to everybody. But that's it. So otherwise, the local community leadership team, they plan their own events, which is really cool. And I've seen some amazing, and Buffalo does one of the best jobs, I have to say, because they do crafts, they do galentines, they do walks in the park. They have some really creative ideas, which is lovely.
Yeah, it's so fun to be a part of. We do the Galentine's events, which we do Valentine cards to nursing homes and create flower bouquets. It's just so fun. And, I love how we partner with Tech Buffalo. I will say Tech Buffalo brought me in this year. They had 240 some odd interns that were in our local community, and they did a hackathon. So I got to judge the hackathon this year.
That's fun.
Such talent is coming into these communities.
I know, I'm in awe. When I get invited to do any kind of judging like that and get to see this stuff, I'm like, wow, I'm really inspired by it.
They had basically 10 hours to develop like websites and applications, and I'm like, how?
Yeah, it's great.
Incredible. But and I think too, the local communities are so fun to get involved with through the WIT chapter. We're lucky we have Kelly Nagel, who is just
amazing.
Yeah. But I think it's so great to how you guys just come together and support the local communities. It's just great. So
yeah, it's an important pillar of what we do. So it wouldn't be the WIT Network without that. It's what we were founded on, and a huge part of our programming today.
Yep, absolutely. It's so great. And the growth across the years. So when you first started, now we have 16,000 members, did you say?
Yeah, about 15, a little over 15,000.
Yeah. And that took, that's just incredible growth. Like in such a short
time. Yes, it is. When we first started, we were individual memberships only. And then shortly after launch, some people in my network came to me to say, hey, is there a way I could buy a package of tickets? Because I'd like to give this to my team. Yep. And I went, oh, wait a minute. Corporate memberships, it's help us scale a lot faster. And so, we flipped the model. We still do have individual memberships, but we're primarily, we primarily operate through corporate memberships where IBM and Microsoft and PwC and so on, and all the way down to 15-person ones as well. They'll buy a corporate membership and then, set certain number of seats, and then they'll give them out to their, to their employees. And then they join on their own and become a part and get access to not only all the community work, but also, we have 200 events a year that we do, over 200 events a year. No one can believe it. The amount of content that we put on. It's all live. Nothing is digital or recorded. It's all live with facilitators. Some are webinars and some are workshops where you're hands-on, you're doing assignments, you're in breakout groups. We have a lot of technology training. I believe that that's very, very important. Help to build skills. So we have partnerships with different training companies that donate. We have an incredible partnership with IBM. They have gifted all of the members of the WIT Network full access to their skills build platform, it's like LinkedIn Learning and Udemy and, all of that. They have over 1,000 courses, and the level 200 and 300 courses have come with certifications. And this is all free as part of, your membership. Yeah. We have mentoring circles, and we also have our annual leadership conference called Igniting Excellence. That's in March. We celebrate Women's History Month together. That is extra because it is a 2-day event.
Yeah.
But there's special member pricing, so the members get a discount.
Yeah. Do you know where it's going to be held yet this year?
I don't. I kind of do, but I don't want to say yet because we haven't made any announcements. Okay. But we are starting. I'll just say this: you will be happy.
Oh, yay!
So you can surmise from that what you will, but no, I can't say anything yet. So
okay. I'll stay patient.
But we're excited. We get such great feedback, from the event. It's a real special time for us to all come together. Yep. And so I just love that we are able to do that and to provide that for people.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know I've taken advantage of the IBM skills build.
Good.
I love it because
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it's great because they're smaller. So like I can log in during my lunch and take I think I took like an AI course. I was like, hey, this is really, it's great.
Oh my goodness. I may want to talk to you. Sorry, but I may want to talk to you afterwards because I'm looking for some stories that we could share out of people that, really took a course and loved it. And, just to try to keep the excitement up about it. So thank you for telling me that.
Well, yeah. Well, it was funny. We, I think Kelly had sent out a note and I was like, oh, so I logged in. I'm like, oh, these are 15-minute, micro learnings that I can sit here and speak. And now I'm encouraging everybody because it's, again, the micro learnings and building that up. You can get a certification before you know it. And
I know.
Why not? It's
free. Do you know how much if you took a course, like an in-person course for that, it's thousands of dollars.
Yep.
It's crazy. So well, thank you. Good. Thanks for sharing your experience, because I try to tell everybody this is such a gift. And when I hear somebody who really loves it and used it, it makes me very happy. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Let me know how I can help shout it from the rooftops. It's because, again, you're part of a network and there's so many different opportunities. And when you take the time to dissect what actually is available to you, again, I don't have to leave my home. I didn't have to leave my pajamas. I could sit there and take this AI course.
That's right.
Fantastic.
That's right. When I welcome everybody. I have an orientation session each month for new members or people that want to just come and learn more about the WIT Network. And I always say we have so much. Yeah. There's so much to do that it can be overwhelming, and then people get paralyzed, right? I don't know what to do first, So I always try to tell people when you join our network or you join any other kind of program, really try to get clear on what it is that what are you trying to do? What are you trying to get from it? Are you trying to build skills? Are you trying to build your network? Are you trying to, do you love to just learn? Do you love to meet people? Are you trying to find a mentor? Get really clear on what it is and hone in on that and start there. Because if you say, oh, this all looks good, I'm going to do everything, it's too much.
Yeah.
And so, we have to have a lot because we serve 16,000 people in 89 countries. Yeah. And of that, we have 40% of our members are in sales and marketing, and 40% are engineers and developers. And then 20% are customer service, BDR, customer sat, project managers. And then the rest are executives, HR, finance. So we have 15% are early career, 60% are mid-career, and then the rest are senior. So we have such a wide range of profiles that we really do have to have a lot of different content. And also people like to learn differently. Some people want to have their camera off and they just want to listen. And then other people want to be on and talking to the teacher and talking to other people. And so we also have to have different types of events because everybody's different. Yep. And we want everybody to be welcomed here. And I think you're going to ask me soon about our rebrand. And so that will tie into that.
I was just going to say that. I was like, first of all, I think having so much available allows people to also cross knowledge, right? Like if you're a project manager and you want to take a development course, it's there for you. But in thinking about what's available in membership, the rebrand that we're currently seeing for the WIT Network, we ignite transformation, I believe, if I have that correct.
You have it right.
Talk to us about one, just, how that came about. But secondly, how do you think that's going to help to grow the WIT Network?
Yeah, and that really was the intent. So when we started out, the WIT was Women in Technology, and our tagline was driving diversity in technology. And because we were primarily based, in the tech space, and the opportunity there was so big, so we thought this is our specialty and this is where we will sit. But it's been 7 full years, and so it is, it's 7-year itch, I guess. You want to freshen up your brand, and obviously the world's changing so fast, and our tagline didn't really match really when I said, what are we doing? Like, what is the impact of the work that we're doing? And I don't know so much that driving diversity in technology was what we were doing. That could have been an output, in some cases, but the work that we were doing was really impacting our members. And so, the tagline, I'll talk about that first, shifted from driving diversity in tech to be seen, be heard, be empowered. And one of my teammates came up with that. It came right from her heart. She's Natalie Dennis. She's our programs manager. She's on every webinar that we do, or every event that we do. She's at the heart of it. And so she sees all the comments, and she hears all the feedback from everybody every day. And she's like, this is what we're doing for people, right? So I love that, because that tagline could not be any more authentic and really targeted in on what we hope people will feel as a part of their experience at the WIT Network. Now, the WIT, first of all, I love the name, the WIT Network, and that is our brand. So I didn't want to abolish it completely.
Yeah.
But we worked with a marketing agency, Transcends, who were absolutely incredible. And, they helped us ideate on how can we freshen that up, and how can that change? And I came to the table with the notion that I found myself in a lot of conversations with people, whether it was individuals, women, or companies, that would say, I'm not in technology. I'm not a developer. I'm not a programmer. I'm not an engineer. Therefore, I don't belong. Whoa. No way. Are you kidding me? Like 80% of the network are not in technical roles. Okay. So the image, the logo, and the name was off-putting to people right out of the gate. Yep. They were self-selecting out because they felt that they didn't belong. And even companies, I was talking to all different types of businesses, trying to get them to come in to be a part of it. And they were like, well, we're not a tech company, and we feel that partnering with you would be too hard to explain to our employees. They wouldn't understand, like, well, why are we part of a tech thing?
Yep.
So I kept hearing that more and more and more. And in the age of inclusivity and inclusiveness and inclusion, I thought, we don't really have our doors as wide open as we need them to be. And we can start right here with our name and our tagline. So that's why we made the change. We thought about, what is it the impact that we're driving? We're helping our members to drive transformation of their lives, whether it's personal, whether it's professional. We're the ignition. They do the work, but we're the ignition. We give them the fuel to go on that journey. And we just all fell in love with it. And the flame, I don't know if you could see the my
Yeah.
logo in here, but you know, the flame then perfectly came in with the W. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too easy. And our conference is called Igniting Excellence, and that was before, you know, we even did this brand refresh. So it all just kind of came together, and we felt really great about it. And you know, I love that our message is welcoming to all. For women, for all women and allies are welcome to be a part of the WIT Network and go on the journey with us. And we're there to support you. So yeah, so that's kind of the story there. And I hope that it lands well with everyone, you know, especially folks that aren't technologists. They say, oh, okay, there's 4,000 sales and marketing people that are a part of the WIT network too. You know, they can find their posse, you know, in the network. So yeah, so that's that story.
I love it. I think you could have a whole like keynote, honestly, on just the change and around, because you know it's funny. Of course, when I found WIT, I was happy that it was other women in tech and they had been through the same thing I had been. But we've been to some college campuses lately, and it as part, you know, as part of events, and it's been fun to say it doesn't matter if you're in sports, like in athletics, come join us. We're talking about transformation and being, you know, the best version of yourself, and we're going to help you get there through these great programs. And it's such a fun conversation to have.
Yes, yes, it is. I love it. And I love when people come in that are doing something different and then they start sharing their stories. And that's what it's all about, right? You want more difference, because that helps round you out. It helps open your eyes, expose you to different thoughts. So I love it. I wouldn't really want to narrow us down to just technical people. So I love that it's so different.
Yeah, the other thing I'm thinking about is, I know, like for myself, and there's a couple other members of the Buffalo chapter, we experienced job loss like at 50, and we had to figure out, are we going to go get another job? Can we go get another job? Do we go out on our own? Like, there's a transformational journey that you have to go on when you're faced with a certain situation, like unemployment.
Yeah.
And it's fun to, I hate to say fun when you're in that, but it's supportive to know that there's a whole group of people who want to support that transformation, if that's what you're going to choose to do. And instead of just going to get another job, you're transforming your life into something that's going to look different moving forward.
Yeah. Well, I think this topic specifically, since you brought up job loss and also recreating yourself, I think the days of really loyalty at employment is gone. So I think, unfortunately, you know, it's going to continue to just be a constant up and down of layoffs, and then hiring frenzies, and then layoffs. And this is our new normal, I think. But you're right. It is when anyone is faced with that situation. It's really great to have people and a support system to get you through it, you know, and you need different people. You need the people that are just going to hug you and be your cheerleaders. Like, you got this, it's going to work out, right? You need some like people who are willing to like coach you or help be a sounding board and maybe give advice. You need connectors, right? People that you know are well connected and are going to help you go, you know who you need to talk to, this person. You know who you should talk to, this person. I'm going to make a connection. And so there's lots of different roles like that you really, you know, need when you go through that sort of a life change. And yeah, the WIT Network prides itself on being a collection, a lot of those types of roles, to be honest, either through our programs where you can listen and be inspired and actually, we just had a webinar this week that was just about this. Or you can network with other people in the network and find those people. And so, you know, it does wind up being a great place for building those connections. And then at times when you need it, pulling them in. I mean, I do it all the time. I'm still doing that. I said, I would love to have a little cohort of female founder CEOs that are running the same kind of a business that I am, that are at the same revenue level, that are struggling with some of the same problems that I am, so that we can help each other, And I went right to my network within the WIT network, and I'm like, boom, 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 and I just pulled the first 5, and off we go. And now we meet every 6 weeks, and we're sounding boards to each other, and we help advise each other. And so anyone can do that, when you find the need for something like that. But I do want to mention, only because you brought this up, we are building out some really, I think one of your questions to me is going to be around what's next for the WIT network. And that's one thing that I honestly really, really love about being an entrepreneur is the constant state of innovation. Some people get exhausted by that, or it's daunting, and I totally get it. But I love it. And so we are never sitting still. Yep. We sit still for maybe, like, after we finish one big initiative, we don't even sit still, because we're already like, okay, we have these ideas now. We want to go do this. Yep. So we're constantly building, and I love that. But some things that are coming are going to be, we're calling it Ignite Exchange. You're the first people that are ever hearing about this.
Hey.
Oh. No one knows about this yet.
Then we got the scoop tonight.
You are getting the scoop, because nobody knows about this. This has not been released in any form. I'm excited. We are building something that we're calling Ignite Exchange, which is going to be like a marketplace for trusted and vetted folks in our network that are speakers, authors, coaches, facilitators of programs for our network. So they'll basically, we'll have a landing page, and they'll have their bios and all their information, and people can connect directly with them. And so there may be some folks on there that are specific to, hey, I'm restarting, I need some help. There may be programs up there that will touch upon that, or their services or coaches, that for folks that are going through life changes. So I'm really excited about that. And that's a way, what I love about it is 2 things. One, we're lifting up all of the people who provide those services to help other people. And 2, we're connecting members of the network, to those resources, so they can get help at the next, phase of their journey. So I love that. It's like this big flywheel circle of help. So that's number 1. And number 2, we're building out Talent Connections, which is going to be a resource for job seekers. I have been asked since day one, hey, do you have a job board? Or do you have a portal where I can post a job? Or, so I know this is, and I have 3 companies that have approached me in the past 3 months. So I know this is something that, is still very important. A lot of people want to get their posts in front of this audience, my audience, intentionally, right? And I love that. They're saying, look, I have all men on my team. I want to improve my culture. I'm being intentional about my next hires. It doesn't mean they're hiring for the sake of hiring. They're going to hire the most qualified person for each role, but they want to bring more diverse candidates to the table for the interview process. That's the way to do it. Yeah. And I really applaud that. And I'm really excited about this, because we know that in the US last year, over 1 million people were laid off. We know facts and data show that more than 50% of them were women. Yep. So we feel like we have this great opportunity that we could potentially try to help get people back to work, or get people, into the jobs that they really want to be in. And I see a lot of companies posting job openings right now. So I don't know if we're on this other side of it, but I want to get those opportunities to the women in the network, so that we can, really try to help. Then we're helping to drive diversity. We have to go back to the tagline again.
Well, it's funny, because I've been looking for a WordPress developer. There's a whole situation. I won't get into it on the podcast, but we had a little situation with the website. And so I'm like, I just need somebody to tweak a couple of things, right? So I put something out on LinkedIn, and it was probably one of the biggest regrets I have in my life.
Tell me what happened, because this is helps me to know what not to do with mine.
Yes. Well, what I did when I posted it, I was inundated. I probably had 1,000 messages within 24 hours on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, email, but they didn't stop. I'd get a message in 1 minute, 15 minutes later, the same person was, did you see my message? 15 minutes later, like 20 through the night, like through sleeping hours, all of these were still coming in. So I was like, no, yeah, this isn't what I was looking for.
Right.
So then it's funny. My next move for that was I emailed the board of the Buffalo chapter saying, does anybody know WordPress? But if there was a board that I could go to through the WIT Network, one, I'm going to get solid resources presented to me. Through our network, and avoid some of the, the downfall that I had from posting out on LinkedIn about being a WordPress developer.
Well, I do hope that it won't be the same type of experience. What I see it evolving into more, like initially it will just serve as a community board, but I would love to grow it into something where I could do more detailed AI matching for candidate to job, where I help you weed some of that out. It was interesting. I was just talking to somebody today, if you don't mind a diversion here, but about this topic. And she was explaining that there's people now are using AI to take a job posting and take their resume and merge it. And then they're submitting a resume that basically matches and aligns to the job posting. So now that's the trend that is happening. So when somebody on LinkedIn, like let's say at Google, posts a job description, it opens a roll up. The report analysis says you had 4,800 resumes and 95% of them are a perfect match. No. So now they can't even use the data.
Right.
How do you sift through if everybody used AI to write their resume to match the job description? Then what are the differentiators? And now what they say that leaders are doing is now they are going to their employees and they're saying, go to your network and find the best people. And we're going to bonus you on referrals. And so this is what's happening. So, but guess what that means? We're back to our network. Our network is our net worth. And so anyway, we've come full circle moment on that. But I just wanted to share that because I just learned that today. And I thought, oh my goodness, what a mess this is all becoming.
It is. And, the best way when you need to find a job is to pick up the phone and start calling the people to your network that you know. And it's funny, just a side story. I knew somebody who was perfect for a job. I sent them to the hiring manager. The hiring manager loved them. Yes, we're going to move forward with you, but you have to submit an application through our online corporate careers section. They sent in their resume through the career section. They got an auto reject because it didn't perfectly match to the job description. They had the job. They had the job. God. But because of if they hadn't known the person and already had everything lined up, they never even would have gotten to first line interviews.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. This is just, it's such a mess.
Blows my mind.
So, your network is really what you have to use. And that's the lesson from this moral of the story.
Absolutely. It's so crazy. Well, one last question I want to ask is, entrepreneurs have a messy middle. I know for me, it feels like a lot is the messy middle. I've got a great day and something happens. Then you got a great day. And then you've got all of this little middle road. What's your words of advice being another entrepreneur of how you handle that messy middle in those days? What do you do?
Well, I mean, let's bust the myth that I think very few people handle it all perfectly, because we all know what we're supposed to do. But when we're in the moments, it's very difficult. I try to stay calm and not, let emotion overtake me. Although that's difficult in and of itself,
It
because
happens.
when you care about something so much, you care about the work that you do, you care about your people, you care about your customers. It's hard to just not take things that seriously to the point of where you won't be emotional about it. But if it's, I'm having a bad day, or we're having a downturn, or, we're having a bad sales quarter or something like that, I just try to, regroup, focus on my priorities, whatever problem you're having, go back to the basics. What are the basics you're supposed to be doing with that? Whether it's an employee problem, go to the basics of having the one-on-ones,
Yeah.
having regular one-on-ones. The communication is often first line of, problem. Same
Yep.
with customers. You're having a customer problem, a customer's upset. Don't dodge it. Get on the phone, have that conversation. If you see a couple customers leaving, right? Was that a trend? Oh, that's bad news.
Yep.
Okay, get on the call. Hey, listen, it's fine you're leaving. Can you give me 10 minutes? I want to learn from this. It's being humble and being open to, look, this is not great news, or this is a bad situation, but I want to learn. We want to do better. And you have to be able to do that, put yourself in a position of, we made a mistake, or maybe something wasn't done right, but we're going to do it better next time. And the more you condition yourself that it's okay to do that, in some cases you may win some of those folks back.
Yep.
That's better, right? It's better for you. You learn from, don't take every opportunity, even the down days, or the crazy days, or the bad news, or whatever, and say, I'm going to learn something from this. And as long as you do, then it's not a complete loss. And that is something that I do try to do. Like, what can I learn about either my behavior or my leadership, or what did the company maybe not fulfill? Do we have a break-in process?
Yep.
So really be analytical about it and not defensive.
Yep.
Because you're also not everybody's cup of tea. You're not always everybody's cup of tea. That was a lesson that I had to learn early on, because I'm very social, and I love people, but not everybody likes me, and that's okay. But I had to learn that was okay.
Yep.
The only other thing I'll add to this is, if it's, what I try to do during the day to help ground myself is, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, or it's really stressful, I go, I need a walk.
Yeah.
I have to get outside. And even if it's 10 minutes, it doesn't have to be an hour, but you get yourself out of your off of your chair, out of your desk, out of your office, get out in nature, get fresh air, listen to the birds. Don't get on calls.
Yep.
Don't be working out on your walk. Just decompress a little bit, and get some deep breaths in, and taking a few moments of mindfulness. I have learned that over the past, couple of years has really been helpful to reset a stressful day. And also, lastly, you have to have balance in your life. You can't work around the clock every day. And I don't do that. And I don't feel guilty, on a particular day when I have to leave a little early. I don't carry guilt with me about that, because I work really hard. And
Yep.
some days I do work late, and I do that because I choose to, because I enjoy it, and I don't look at it negatively, because I say, well, tomorrow night I'm going to leave at 4, and I'm okay with that. So I think you do have to try to find some balance in there as well.
Yep. And that's such a hard lesson to learn and way to be. It really is.
Yeah.
I think because you care so much, you just, it's hard to step away. But
well, and also there's a lot of fear. I don't want to, I'm not trying to make it sound easy, because I talk to a lot of, members of the network now, and these are hard times. People are very stressed out. There's a lot of pressure. They're doing, 2 and 3 jobs following their company's layoffs, and they weren't asked. It was just put upon them.
Yep.
So they're juggling multiple roles. They're fearful to take breaks. They're fearful to not work around the clock, that they could lose their job. And I understand that these are tough times. So I'm not trying to say,
Yep.
don't care and just stop working, but just try to take care of yourself. Remember that you're number one, and it's very important that you give yourself the breaks that you need so
Yep.
your body and your mind can restore so that you can continue, to do well there. So it is about balance.
Yep. I agree. And it's again, it's hard to learn that, especially when you're in a competitive landscape and there's so
Yeah.
many different things. But yep. Yeah. And I agree. The 10 minutes just walking back, even just pacing
Mhm.
outside, just
Yes.
outside.
Or even sitting if you can't walk for some reason. Like sometimes I'll just go out and I have a lounge chair in the back and I'll just sit there and listen to the birds and
Yeah.
not talk, which, is really does, I love it. It brings me a lot of joy actually. So find that joy, find whatever that thing is, read a book, go read a book for 10 minutes, like your novel. Do some yoga
Yeah.
poses, whatever your thing is, cook, go start a side dish for dinner or,
I was just gonna say, you'll find me in the kitchen, most of the time, that's how I work out my kinks, but speaking of which, it's summer. Do you have any special summer dishes that you like to make given it's, like, the fresh produce time?
Yeah, well, I live in the land of the Jersey corn and Jersey tomatoes.
Those.
So definitely tomato sandwiches are number one. I love those. And then I make it's a regular recipe, but it's called like it's a bean salad, but it has fresh corn and then four different types of beans and cilantro and lime and oh my gosh, it's delicious. And you can have it as like a salsa with chips, which I could eat like a whole bag of chips with this, or you could put it over salad, or you could just have it as a side with a piece of grilled chicken or a steak. It goes, I could eat it so many different ways. And when you make it, it makes a massive bowl. So you have a lot. So I like to make it and then I bring half of it to like a party or a barbecue. And then the other half I get to use for myself. So I have to say that I make that in the summer.
That sounds delicious. Ken, what do you make in the summer? Do you save anything?
Well, talking about the fresh corn, I like to get that and just fire up the grill, do some steaks.
Yeah, that's
I
the
don't think
best.
you can go wrong with that.
That is the best.
Oh, yeah. And I do a ton of caprese salads because the fresh tomato.
Ooh.
I mean,
I just went to a farmer's market this weekend and I got a big bowl of mozzarella and I got like Jersey tomatoes and basil. So that is one of my favorites too.
I could eat that like every day during the summer. Just love it.
Great.
Well, I could sit here and talk to you for like the
I
next,
know, this is so
20
fun.
I want to thank you personally. I didn't know of the WIT Network before COVID, like I said. I happened to see it on LinkedIn and the Galentine's event, and the culture and the way that you've brought opportunities to those of us who are part of the community are just amazing. And I also just want to thank you for bringing the student memberships and the community memberships and a low cost way for people to have exposure and opportunity to get educational opportunities and to be able to attend community events and quite frankly learn how to network and get a starting board for really what they need to do.
Yeah.
So, thank you for
Well, you're
building.
welcome. I mean, it's not just me. I have a whole team of people that bring this beautiful community to life. And so it's my pleasure to be a part of it. And I'm glad that you're taking advantage of it. I hope others will too. We are at thewitnetwork.com if you want to come and check us out, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm sure that Emily will put my contact information somewhere, but you can reach out and connect with me on LinkedIn if you'd like to learn more.
That's amazing. So I love the rebrand.
Thank you. I'm so glad you do. We love it. We love it. It brings us a lot of joy. We just redid our website with the brand, and have you seen the website lately?
I went there last night, actually.
Yeah.
I was looking through it last night. I was like, this is really great.
Yes, Natalie did it, and it is beautiful. I just go up there and I just look around. I'm like, oh, it's so cool. It's really great to see something that you built, from nothing to something. And I get overwhelmed, with joy, and I just love it so much.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I am.
Does Natalie know WordPress?
She will kill me if I say to her, can you help somebody with their website? She will probably have a breakdown, but I will ask her. No. But I will see. I might know some people actually, because we were going to build our website in WordPress, but this one is not. So
Okay. I have to ask.
I know. I get it.
Well,
Christine, you were
Christine,
telling the story. I was like, okay, how can I help her? I know there's going to be somebody.
I will have to share with you the full story of how we even got here. Ken just is shaking his head of how we got here. The whole experience was just mind blowing. So I'll have to fill you in. But thank you for being here, Christine. Thank you for sharing your story and more about the WIT Network. Ken, thanks for being here tonight.
You got it.
Thank you, Ken.
And we want to give a shout out to Romans here in Batavia, New York. Romans is a local restaurant. And Christine, not only do we have the community with the WIT Network, but our local community has just really helped support the podcast so much. So they let us use the restaurant and the space to come in and record episodes so that we have I want to be out in the community. I want people to get to know who we are as well. And so this just gives us the opportunity to do so. So shout out Romans.
Yay, Romans. When I come up, we'll have to go.
Yeah. Are you going to be in Buffalo anytime soon?
I try to get up at least once a year. So yeah, I'll let you know when I'm coming up.
Okay. Yeah, please do. I'd love to meet you in person.
Great.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you again. It really means a lot to me. Thanks for helping to amplify the work that we do. Yeah. And it was a pleasure to meet both you and Ken. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you in person soon.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks to our subscribers, our listeners. Can't do it without you. Thanks, Christine.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Oh, she left. Am I still?
Oh, wait. No, you're good. Just tell me.
Mm-mm.
Oh.